split. The term bifid describes that. Is this a vertebra from the cervical, thoracic, or lumbar? Cervical. Definitely wouldn't be sacral, right? Or it's not artesian, we know that. This is from the neck region. And that being the case, we're going to expect that it actually, the bony portion, has a transverse foramen, which is right here. Another one over here. It's occupied. You don't just have a foramen and have a hole. You have something running through it. The physiology of people, I guess somewhere along the line, got tired of students getting that far and not knowing enough about the nervous system. So they wanted us to incorporate this. So here it is. It just doesn't fit in this third section, okay? But you're not going to have trouble with it. The possible things that you would want to identify are on the last page of your handout. You see, there's 11 things. These are shown, if you find them, if you go through those 4 PowerPoints. Okay? The models are on the PowerPoints. You can find them, you can look here, or you can make a small set of numbers. A bunch of those little tiny round tags. There they are. I like the lighter color. You can make numbers 1 through 11. And if you want to do first, we have to have impulses coming in, sensations coming in. And the sensations coming in all pass through the swollen area. This what looks like swollen area on this side. The yellow here, over here, it's coated. The same thing. The yellow, this is the dorsal root ganglion. Always attempt to look for that. Yeah, that works okay for the moment. Impulses can come in on this pathway, or this one down here, at the end of here, dorsal root ganglion. The ganglion is where a bunch of neural cell bodies, neurons come together, and then they synapse, and they travel further, and they tend to accumulate here. Good thing about dorsal root ganglion, you always can tell the dorsal side. The dorsal side is the incoming side, follow it along, and it goes to the back here. Now, on the back side, you see in the front here what looks like a little fork, okay, or back scratcher. You got the same thing up here. This is the dorsal root. This is the dorsal root on the other side. This enters into the spinal cord itself. This is the spinal cord. It enters into this structure, which is the dorsal horn. Picture these as a set of antlers. Some people see butterflies. Doesn't matter. If you think antlers, you're more apt to think horns. This is the dorsal horn. Now from here, the incoming information can signal a reflex arc. You ever cut something hot, pull your hand back real quick before you can even think about it? Your hand is done. That happens, and the reflex arc would go out immediately through this portion. This is the ventral horn, right at the bottom, the ventral horn. But even though the body takes care of itself by pulling back real quick, the information that you hit something hot goes up to your brain, tell you how stupid you are. It goes up, and it may tell you, forget about it, or it may tell you not worth worrying about, or it may tell you to do something else, to take the pot off of the stove, for instance, with the other hand. It may tell you quite a few things. That information is to come back now. And then it goes back out. That's slower. You're only needing, on this test, to identify structures. I'm going a little farther. Here was dorsal root ganglion, dorsal root, dorsal horn, ventral horn, and here's the ventral root. And this is going out. It doesn't have a big ganglion. It's going out, passing alongside of the dorsal root ganglion, and going out the same way the sensation came in. It's going in the opposite direction. We have the dorsal and the ventral. The incoming or afferent and outgoing or efferent information crossing right here. This one little point where they cross is called a spinal nerve. There's a spinal nerve on each side. There's 31 pairs of them all together. They're not all in just the cervical vertebra, they also run into the thoracic and lumbar region as well. And in fact, all of them.
That white area is the spinal nerve?
This is the spinal nerve right here.
Okay.
Where it crosses. On the other side, the spinal nerve is over here. The coating over the dorsal root ganglia here extends back here as well. This coat has been removed from this side, but it still extends up here. This one has a little number 4 left on it from somebody. It's not our number 4, however, so I'll take that off of there. That's not our number 3. This structure here is the dura mater. Dura mater. It's one of the 3 meninges around the, or coats around the spinal cord. They're lubricated or protected. The dura mater.
Is that the most inner cup?
Outer. There's dura mater, arachnoid matter, which is shown here, and pia mater. The dura mater is a tougher one, and it translates into tough mother. Okay. Looking back at the spinal cord itself, the horns are what we call gray matter. Don't like what I'm going to say next down. You'll get it later.
Could you point to that one more time, please?
Horns, gray matter.
Okay.
They're not myelinated. Because of that, again, don't write it down. Don't ask questions yet. Impulses move slower through the gray matter. Much of the brain is gray matter. When we talk about gray matter, how much gray matter they have, how intelligent they are, how thinking, how thoughtful. The white matter is all the rest. The white matter is myelinated, and it speeds impulses along, and that means going up or down the spinal column to the brain or from the brain, or being shared between different levels. This is the unthinking part. Like you think about, should I turn the light on, is it too dark? And then you flip it on, you send that signal immediately, and there's no turning back. Gray matter versus white matter. Think about it for gray matter, white matter, just send it all. The only thing I haven't mentioned is this little structure here that's going to be very important when we talk about the autonomic nervous system. This guy here, see it's running on the anterior side of this vertebra. There's another one on the other side. This is the sympathetic trunk ganglia, or They're also paired up like this along the, many of the other vertebrae. They're like stops on an elevator. You have many of them, each vertebral level. Trunk ganglion. A ganglion is a place where a lot of neurons get together. Information is exchanged. Okay? You ever wonder how overnight mail works? Attachment, passageway is the gray ramus.
The what?
Gray ramus. I don't want you to even ask me what it does tonight, because you won't remember it tomorrow. It's not a part of the test. What is a part of the test is knowing that that's the gray arm, gray ramus. It goes to the sympathetic trunk ganglia. Here's the spinal nerve. Here's the dorsal root ganglia. Trust me, the dorsal root on that side. Dorsal horn, whoops, dorsal horn, ventral horn, ventral root. The dura mater here. What do you think this artery is? Huh? The vertebral.